Our next speaker, Mike Schoenberger, is an active member of the business community and obviously a passionate member of EO. He's also passionate about business operating systems, having implemented the Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS, which has led to consistent double-digit growth at Sunco since 2017. Mike actively supports the entrepreneurial community by mentoring IM YAG and U of A Venture Mentoring Service, and is also serving on the advisory council at the Mauji Center at NAIT Polytechnic up in Edmonton. He holds positions on the board of EO Canada and is the GSEA Canada National Committee Director for External Engagement. Mike's also an acting board member of Nanastics DX, a startup precision health company. In addition to his professional commitments, Mike enjoys spending quality time outdoors in the mountains with his wife, Jackie. Let's give him a warm welcome.
3 years ago, I set the intention, I set the date, picked the date, January 13th, 2025. It's going to be the end of my career, the sunset. I was tired. I've been doing this for 35 years. Even though my business was growing exponentially, I had enough. It was chaos. My life was chaos. I wanted the end. I loved coaching. I started leaning into EOS. I'm like, maybe an EOS facilitator. What am I going to do? But then I'm going to take you on a journey of how this changed to lead me to where I am today. So let's go back to February 2022. I'm at a BAF Leadership Summit. And I'll never forget when I first joined EO 6 years ago, Luke Williamson. We're at an integration event, and he tells me, he told all of us that joined at that time, he's like, just say yes. Whenever an opportunity comes your way, just say yes. So I'm like, I have the opportunity to go to this conference, and I'm like, yes. It's minus 35 outside, which helped with this indoor event. I'm walking to, I look at the agenda, and there's this Wim Hof breathing exercise. I'm like, what's this? Just say yes. So I walk up to the door, I go in, there's these two big screen TVs, there's his face on it, there's all these blankets on the floor. And we're supposed to pick our seat. Okay, I pick my seat. And now for the next hour, we have to do constant breath. I'm like, okay, just lean in, just say yes. So I start, and it's like, and I don't know what's going on, but I go with it. My body tightens up, my hands are so tight that I can't release them. But I'm like, I gotta keep breathing. I just gotta keep breathing. All of a sudden I start crying. I have emotions flowing. I don't know what's happening to me, but I have to just keep on going. I have no choice. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get this voice in my head. I hear, you are worthy. You are enough. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. And I love you. And it was like, this wave, this euphoric emotion that I will never forget. And it like unlocked this box that was locked inside of myself. My dad had died coincidentally 19 years before, February 18th. This was on February 19th. And he died suddenly of a heart attack. And it started, I can never really talk about my dad without crying. And it started this, I realized in that moment that real human connection can change your life. And there's a longer story that maybe some of you are here someday, we're going to talk about that. But at this moment, it engaged curiosity. It's like, if I can feel like that, what else is there? So I started listening to podcasts. I started doing a bit of meditation. I remember people telling me about this 10-10-10, so I started exploring a little bit with that. But then I had another opportunity at the leadership when I was in Banff, talking to some of the people. They talked about this regional leadership academy. I applied. I didn't get in, but sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways. At the last minute, I was accepted. Of course, I said yes, and I went. And it's a week that is just transformational. They tear you down, and then they build you back up. And I had so many incredible experiences there that I could talk for hours, really. But I'm going to talk about one in particular. Warren Rustand, who's here in the picture, and Mr. Cam Johnson, which we all know. He talked about living your life with purpose. He talked about living your life with intention. In that moment, I created a list of 100 things my wife and I want to do in the next 10 years. Most of them were experience-based. He said, when you wake up in the morning, set an intention on how you want to show up. My intention is to come from my heart with love and light in all that I say and do. And most importantly, the 10-10-10. 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of positive reading, and 10 minutes of journaling. That moment was a breakthrough for me because I have a bit ADHD, a bit of chaos. I was causing chaos in my life. And it was at that time that I realized that I've been living my life, a lot of it, standing in a waterfall. I was getting in my own way. I was living in chaos. This gave me the opportunity to view the waterfall from a distance. Oops. To see strings in my life that I would normally get pulled, jump into situations in my business, get involved where it wasn't needed. So it started, I started seeing the light. Work started getting better. I started getting more involved. We were closing our first deal. I had sold 8% of the company, according to my retirement plan. And that wasn't going very well. But we continued on, and with the chaos of all these challenges of opening, it didn't bother me the way that it did before. So then in October of last year, as Bo said, I attended a very impactful event, the Global Speakers Academy. I never in a million years thought that I would be brave enough to stand in front of a room of peers. But here I am. And, I wanted to go there to be able to tell my story, to be able to continue on and get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I learned things here that I didn't even realize. At the time that I was attending this, we bid on the largest RFP in Suncoast history. It's like a $5 million RFP, $170,000 a month. And we're starting our second acquisition. So I finished the GSA, I come home, and we get shortlisted. We create a shortlist presentation. This is with Ontario government, and we're in Alberta. That presentation, we won based on what we did. I would not have done the presentation the way that I did it if it weren't for GSA. My culture and my company has never been stronger. I lead a 30-minute podcast with all my staff every Thursday, and it's interactive. I talk about, radical candor, like Kim Scott talked about this morning. I talk about emotional conversations, emotional things in a business, and my staff love it. We connect. They're starting to open up. They talk to each other. We embrace our values that come out of EOS. And through all of this, I'm like, in chaos, there can be calm. There can be calm in chaos. How do you step outside the waterfall? So where that's led me is I continued down this journey because it's like, let's continue to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So by continuing my journey, I went and I got a personal branding done. I hired Marina, a fellow EO member. And we did lots of interviews. And I've got such a commitment to culture, growth. My company has grown 50%. It went from 20% year over year to 50%. My culture's never been stronger. I'm like, what is the secret to that? It's leading with the heart. It's understanding that if we connect with ourselves, I did a meditation before I came up here today, and it helped me center myself. So the more we connected with ourselves, the easier it is to connect with others. And that curiosity that Kim talked about this morning, embracing that, bring it into our cultures. So I've come up, for me, what I'm doing is radical love leadership. I'm creating workshops and exercises and things that people can do to help with their culture, to help with that connectivity, to help people connect in with themselves, to help people connect with their staff. And the most important thing is doing this while my business is growing, while my company is continuing to grow. you know, using what I've learned from EOS, using what I've learned from EO to like rocket fuel in my business. Did I miss that slide? Yes. Rocket fuel right there with GSA. It's been rocket fuel in my life. So what do you guys want to do with rocket fuel? Who has ever had chaos? Who's lived in chaos in their life or business? Anybody? Show of hands. Yeah, we've all had chaos in our life. How do you calm the chaos? It's by taking time for yourselves. Everybody has a different way. You know, they say disconnect to reconnect. Go to nature, meditate, listen to music, talk to other people. But most importantly, for me, by doing this, sharing my story, sharing how I connect with myself, it's been rocket fuel for my life, rocket fuel my business, radical love leadership, baby. Who wants to get on the train and lead our teams? Let's go. Thank you very much for your time.